Everyone mentioned today is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and everything I discuss here is theory until proven fact, even if it is.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean, and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seeds as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Hey guys, how you going? Happy New Year, and may your 2026 be as profitable as a Somali daycare centre. How you guys going? How you going, Shannon? How you going? Alex, good to see you guys. Sherry, how you going? I'm Kai, out to lunch. Who else have we got in here? Oh, we've got a few, got to go back. I am Kai, yeah, I did say I am Kai. Carl, how you going? George, how you going? Rails, how you going? Good to see you guys. Long time no see. Oh dear. Hey Tasman, how you doing? Okay. Got a lot to get into. As you know, I'll just update you on what's going on here. So if anyone rewatching this later can skip a couple of minutes. I have not been streaming because I have been dealing with my mum who has Alzheimer's. I cannot turn the camera on. Some weird behaviour going on, you know what it's like. Or maybe you don't, but yeah, you just don't know when someone could walk in, whether they're clothed or not is another matter. And, you know, weird things just happen with Alzheimer's and dementia. So, yeah, we're dealing with a lot of that. And some of it's very surprising, you know. Okay, I've got a cat at my door. Hang on a sec. I'll just let this cat in. I've also got a mouse in the house. A mouse and a cat. Cat's chasing the mouse. Come on. Yep, in you come. Now, Settle down. Wherever you're going to go, just go there and stay there, please. Please. Okie dokie. Okay, let's get into it, because there's been a lot happening. Oh, no. They're really going to run amok on me chasing this mouse. Okay. Nick Sautor said, breaking, new angle from the ice involved shooting in Minneapolis, shows the woman clearly hitting the ICE agent with her car before he fires at her. A vehicle is a deadly weapon, and she used that deadly weapon against an agent, self-defense. Okay, now this is... We'll turn the sound off. They're the two agents over here. Okay. And she actually did swipe him by the look of it. So, yeah, the Democrats are all squealing that, no, she shouldn't have been killed. Well, you shouldn't have been at a protest. And she was asked multiple times to get out of the car. And, yeah, she was there as a blockade. She was part of the blockade. A professional provocateur. Okay. Gaynor Fauci said, I still think about this selfie that Nancy Pelosi's son-in-law, Michael Voss, took with Jacob Chansley on the Capitol steps on January 6. Well, you know what he's done now? This guy was never part of QAnon, and he was never part of anything until January 6, okay? QAnon shaman turns against Donald Trump and says he'll run for Arizona governor. Okay, this guy never was. He just popped up out of nowhere on January 6, which is, I find, quite suspicious. But that's just me. Benny Johnson said, breaking, the White House has published a page revealing the full true story of J6 before, during and after. It includes video and evidence showing Nancy Pelosi's involvement, a complete detailed timeline of events, a tribute to those who died on or because of J6. A full investigation into Nancy Pelosi and everyone involved is now essential. I do believe they're going to start looking into this. And all roads are going to lead back to Obama for a lot of things, I've noticed. Thousands of Americans paid the price for political failures they did not create. Since J6 2021, Nancy Pelosi spent over 3 years and nearly $20 million in taxpayer funds on her partisan select committee, producing a scripted TV spectacle to fabricate an insurrection narrative and pin all blame on President Trump. Video and audio recordings included unaired HBO footage from her own daughter show Nancy Pelosi repeatedly acknowledging responsibility for the catastrophic security failures, admitting we have totally failed and I take full responsibility for not having the National Guard pre-deployed, despite intelligence warnings and President Trump's offers of troops that were ignored under her leadership as Speaker, which we all know. It will be investigated. I do believe that. Santino said just in, one of his autopen's last acts before Joe Biden left office was to pardon Captain Mike Byrd, you know, the DC officer who shot and killed January 6 protester Ashley Babbitt in cold blood during the protests on Capitol Hill, January 6, 2021. On Tuesday, investigative journalist Paul Sperry discovered and posted former Lieutenant, now Captain Mike Byrd, and his wife, Kaleska Bira, have operated a home-based daycare centre called Bird's Family Daycare from their residence in Brandywine, Maryland since 2008. That is nearly 17 years. Public records and listings on sites like Care Lulu confirm the existence of this licensed family childcare provider. The daycare is registered and licensed by the Maryland State Department of Education's Office of Childcare, meeting the basic state requirements for operation. However, it does not appear on Maryland's list of accredited family childcare providers, meeting higher standards from NAEYC. The Birds have allegedly received $190 million in this HHS daycare. Very, very interesting, mate. Now you see why they're trying to cover all this up and why they're going to throw everything they've got now at Minnesota, trying to stop the investigation. Just believe me. Libs of TikTok said new JD Vance says the Trump admin believes there's a nationwide fraud ring that's rooted in illegal aliens and others taking advantage of the American welfare system. We're going to get to the root of it, and everyone who's involved is going to get prosecuted. Shut it all down. Yep, America has a Somali problem. It's not the only problem, but hey, that'll do for a start. Let's just get someone arrested. Not just for the sake of arresting anyone, but, I mean, these corrupt people, you know what I mean. Paul Fleuret said President Trump, while speaking of the Insurrection Act, says that George H.W. Bush used it 22 times. Except he didn't use it 22 times. He used it twice, which means POTUS dropped the number 22 for a reason. What is drop number 22? It discussed the president using the military to save the republic, i.e. the Insurrection Act.
You know that Portland, we got it down to almost no crime? Do you know that? But we pulled it out. We had a Supreme Court decision. We can go back. We're allowed to go back in. But we'll go back in when the crime starts. Look, the crime will soon start because they now know that we're out. And at the appropriate time, we'll go back in. And we may, if we're allowed to. The most powerful thing we haven't used the Insurrection Act.
You're considering using the Insurrection Act?
I've always considered it, but we haven't needed it anywhere. 48% of the presidents of this country have used it. Bush used it, I think, 22 times or something. You know that, right? I mean, Bush the elder. You know that Portland...
Okay. Who controls the National Guard? Hang on, was that? Yeah, that was it. Who controls the National Guard? Why was the National Guard recently activated in select cities within the US? Can the National Guard work in coordination with the Marines? Do conditions need to be satisfied to authorise? What former president used the military to save the Republic and what occurred exactly? Biggest drop to ever be provided on poll. Study and prepare. The masses tend to panic in such situations. No war, no civil unrest, clean and swift. And it's going to happen pretty quick. President George H.W. Bush invoked the Insurrection Act twice during his single term in office. The two instances were September 20th, 1989 and May the 1st, 1992. Okay, so it has been done before. This is not new. And I do believe it's coming. By the way, hello, Michelle. How you going? Didn't see you in there. You were in there. And Rolf and Eric, how you going, guys? Humpty, how you going? Anyone I've missed, I'll get to you in a minute, I'm sure. Okay. Wall Street Mav says, based on their statements threatening federal agents, President Trump needs to invoke the Insurrection Act and send the US Marines to re-establish order. Governor Tim Walz and Mayor Jacob Frey have clearly crossed the line into stoking rebellion against the US federal government. Under the Insurrection Act, the President can deploy military forces for domestic law enforcement, and those forces can make arrests of individuals breaking existing laws. A mayor or governor has no immunity from arrest if they are committing a crime, including the federal crime of insurrection or defying federal law enforcement orders. The Insurrection Act and arrest powers enforcing existing laws. The Insurrection Act does not create new laws or grant the President absolute power. It enables the President to use the military to enforce existing US laws or suppress rebellion when local authorities are unable or unwilling to do so. Arrest authority, once invoked, troops operating under the Insurrection Act can perform law enforcement duties, including searches and arrests of American citizens who are violating the law. No immunity for officials. Holding public office does not provide immunity for prosecution for criminal acts. Federal officers can arrest state or municipal office officials if they are found to be obstructing federal law enforcement or engaging in criminal activity, such as actively engaging in an unlawful combination or conspiracy against US authority. Very interesting, isn't it? Derek Evans said, you don't have to love Trump, you don't even have to like him. The issue isn't Trump anymore, it's that the left hates him more than they love America. Listen to this.
You don't have to love Trump. You don't even have to like him. The issue isn't Trump anymore. It is that the left hates him more than they love America. They would rather watch the country fall apart than admit he ever did anything right. They cheer when things go wrong, when prices rise, when chaos fills the streets, just so they can say, see, we told you, Trump was bad. That's not patriotism. That is bitterness, and it is dangerous. Because evil isn't just doing wrong. Evil is hoping your own nation collapses just to prove a political point. America doesn't fall because of one man. It falls because too many people would rather see it fail than see their opponent succeed. You don't have to love Trump. But if you hate him more than you love this country, then maybe the problem isn't him.
There you go. Maybe the problem isn't
You
him.
don't have
Hey, Menacing Muskrat, how you going? Okay, Derek Evans said the Insurrection Act could be invoked tomorrow. President Trump has said he's considering it as Minnesota edges towards unrest, and Governor Walz threatens to deploy the National Guard against federal officers. Oh, wow, this is going to get really interesting. Table Salt said new Canadian man goes viral for posting a video asking for Trump to take over Canada. Hello, Australia here. Can we come along for the ride? Okay, let's have a look.
Oh, Mr. Trump! Mr. Trump!
Oh, God. Hello, Australia. Yeah, can we join you?
Oh, Mr.
I can't wait. I want to see the military arrest Albanese. Oh, and Alex, sorry, I missed your message. Happy New Year. She sent me a message, Happy New Year. I only got it yesterday. Emerald Robinson said lots of people said that I was telling crazy stories or lacked sources for my reporting on Venezuela and the rigged voting machines. Here's President Trump amplifying my reporting with General Flynn and me tagged in the post. And here it is. Donald J. Trump shared this on Truth Social. Johnny St. Pete, bombshell video. Elon Musk might have saved the 2024 election from being stolen. Benny Johnson tells the story of how Musk knew they would win the election and appears is because they identified the overseas systems and machines that were going to perpetrate what we saw in 2020. Now we know why Trump is raging at Venezuela. Apparently we weren't crazy. Musk tracked down the IP addresses of the Dominion office in Serbia and rendered their computers useless days before the election. Years prior, in 2020, the chairman of Smartmatic's holding company, SGO, was Mark Malloch Brown. He resigned in 2020. Guess where his next job was in 2021? The president of the Open Society Foundation. Yes, Soros Foundation. George Soros, being the number one donor to the Democrats, and DNC, his right-hand man, was the head of an electronic voting company called Smartmatic, and those Dominion machines may have been running Smartmatic software. According to Emerald Robinson, General Flynn flew out to meet with Venezuelan whistleblowers. Anyone else think it's odd that the Democrats were so worried so relentlessly about Venezuela? Were they and the globalists running operations out of there? It's interesting, isn't it? This is all strategic, very, very strategic. So people jumping all over the place and, just hang in there, just wait, just keep watching. That's everything's exposure. Everything we are seeing is being exposed. From the Somali daycare centres to the Muslims to some influencers. Oh, goodness. Anyway, Candace Owens came out in support of Islamic Muslims. Okay? Just for those who are wondering. And I called it in my last video. Johnny Mager said, oh my God, after moving to ban the corporate ownership of single-family homes, Trump is now taking on defence contractors. Trump is banning dividends and stock buybacks as executives make a fortune off the taxpayer. He's on a generational run right now. Okay, this is not the only thing he's doing. There's a lot of good stuff Trump has done the last couple of days or weeks since I haven't been here. All United States defence contractors and the defence industry as a whole, beware while we make the best military equipment in the world. No other country's even close. Defence contractors are currently issuing massive dividends to their shareholders and massive stock buybacks at the expense and detriment of investing in plants and equipment. The situation will no longer be allowed or tolerated. Also, executive pay packages in the defence industry are exorbitant and unjustifiable given how slowly these companies are delivering vital equipment to our military and our allies. Salaries, stock options and every other form of compensation are far too high for these executives. Defence companies are not producing our great military equipment rapidly enough, and once produced, not maintaining it properly or quickly. From this moment forward, these executives must build new and modern production plants for both delivering and maintaining this important equipment and for building the latest models of future military equipment. Until they do so, no executive should be allowed to make in excess of $5 million, which, as high as it sounds, is a mere fraction of what they're making now. Wow. Additionally, the maintenance and repair of equipment once sold is far too slow and must be immediately enhanced. As President, I'm demanding that the maintenance be spot on time. Therefore, I will not permit dividends or stock buybacks for defence companies until such time as these problems are rectified. Likewise for salaries and executive compensation. Military equipment is not being made fast enough. It must be built now with the dividends, stock buybacks and overcompensation of the executives rather than borrowing from financial institutions or getting the money from your government. Longer term, this is good for both executives and shareholders because it'll be great for our country. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. Sorry, guys, just give me one sec. Streaming. Bring you back. Sorry. Gunther Eagleman said DHS is calling the attack in Minnesota a domestic terror attack. It's time for Trump to lay down the law. Invoke the Insurrection Act and treat these traitors like the Cuban defences that protected Maduro. Start arresting these commie Fs. Send in the Marines. Send them in. Let's go. And this, surprised me anyway. MAGA Voice said, breaking, Australia Bondi Beach terror attack hero says Trump is the hero of the world and wants to meet. I want to meet him. He's a hero of the world. I love him. He's a strong man. Wow. I thought he was supposed to be a Muslim. This guy was supposed to be a Muslim, wasn't he?
Will you go see Mr. Trump while you're here?
We'll see.
I wish.
You want to see him?
He's a hero, of course, of the world. I love him. He's a strong man.
Australia thanks you, Ahmed. Thank you so much.
Will you go see Mr. Trump while you're
Yeah, so there you go. It surprised me, anyway. Oh, the White House said America first. Who said the White House isn't America first and Trump's not America first, hey? Hey, Robin. Hey, Pinkster. How you doing? Good to see us. And who was that? Janelle, how you going? Today, President Donald Trump signed a presidential memorandum directing the withdrawal of the United States from 66 international organisations that no longer serve American interests, including 35 non-UN organisations and 31 UN entities. Go, Trump, pull out of the UN. Yeah. And 35 non-UN organisations. That's a good thing. Okay, Clandestine said Trump went mafioso on Maduro and told Petro to watch his ass. So Petro just called Trump to negotiate and settle differences. Trump appreciated Petro's tone and said they'll be meeting soon. Petro saw what happened to Maduro, so he bent the knee. Peace through strength. Donald J. Trump said it was a great honour to speak with the president of Colombia, Gustavo Petro, who called to explain the situation of drugs and other disagreements that we have had. I appreciate his call and tone and look forward to meeting him in the near future. Arrangements are being made between Secretary of State Marco Rubio and the Foreign Minister of Colombia. The meeting will take place in the White House in Washington, D.C. There you go. Basil the Great said Trump pulls USA out of United Nations Human Settlements Program. The UN is financing third world migrants into our country. Time for the UK to pull out too. Your countries are being ruined. The United Nations is funding it. And we know that.
Not only is the UN not solving the problems it should, too often, it's actually creating new problems for us to solve. The best example is the number one political issue of our time, the crisis of uncontrolled migration. It's uncontrolled. Your countries are being ruined. The United Nations is funding an assault on Western countries and their borders. In 2024, the UN budgeted $372 million in cash assistance to support an estimated 624,000 migrants journeying into the United States. Think of that. The UN is supporting people that are illegally coming into the United States, and then we have to get them out. The UN also provided food, shelter, transportation, and debit cards to illegal aliens. Can you believe that?
Yep.
On the way to infiltrate our southern border. Millions of people came through that southern border. Just a year ago, millions and millions of people were pouring in, 25 million altogether over the 4 years of the incompetent Biden administration. And now we have it stopped, totally stopped. In fact, they're not even coming anymore because they know they can't get through. But what took place is totally unacceptable. The UN is supposed to stop invasions, not create them.
Yep.
And not finance them. In the United States, we reject the idea that mass numbers of people from foreign lands can be permitted to travel halfway around the world, trample our borders, violate our sovereignty, cause unmitigated crime, and deplete our social safety net.
You tell them, Trump. Seriously. Okay, Clandestine said, notice how as soon as Trump sends DHS agents to Minneapolis to look at their fraud, the Dems immediately start inciting a violent insurrection. They are willing to burn this nation to the ground in an attempt to prevent accountability for their crimes. But they will fail. They will. I think the storm's just about upon us, guys. I think we've been in it for a little while. Yeah, I missed all you guys too and love you guys too, guys. Okay, just always hang in there. Just stay with us. Miss White said the dimple... The dimple? For fuck's sake. Let me try that again. The simple diplomatic solution is Baron Trump marries Princess Isabella of Denmark and Greenland is given to America as a dowry payment. What? It's interesting thought. Interesting. Huh. Very interesting. Good sir, Baron on X Spaces, are you interested? Oh, what their children would look like. Oh. A Danish brunette, outrageous. We'll see. It's an interesting thought. That's all I wanted to say about that one. American AF said Canadians are now requesting for Donald Trump to invade their country and free them as the same guy again. Oh dear. I've doubled up on some things. Alex Armstrong said, quite incredible. Trump is banning this one, guys. Ready? Trump is banning large investors from buying family homes in the USA. People live in homes, not corporations. Why haven't we done this in Britain or Australia or Canada or anywhere? Donald J. Trump said, for a very long time, buying and owning a home was considered the pinnacle of the American dream. It was the reward for working hard and doing the right thing. But now, because of record high inflation caused by Joe Biden and the Democrats in Congress and years of corruption, that American dream is increasingly out of reach for far too many people, especially younger Americans. It is for that reason and much more that I'm immediately taking steps to ban large institutional investors from buying more single-family homes, and I will be calling on Congress to codify it. People live in homes, not corporations. I will discuss this topic, including further housing and affordability proposals and more at my speech in Davos in 2 weeks. He's taken it to Davos. There we go. I think 2026 is the actual... How you going, Eric? 2026 is the year, I believe, that people are going to be held accountable. Yeah, I do believe that. I know I believed it every other year, but I do. Because things are actually happening now. You can see it actually coming together. Okay, now this is not only that, but the corporations that already own homes, they should be made to sell them, I believe. This is just my opinion, okay? Hey, she's chasing that mouse. And another thing about this is, what was I thinking a minute ago? Oh, do you remember many years ago, it was probably 15 to 20 years ago, when corporations, at least in Australia this happened, were looked at like people. Okay, they had the same rights as people did. They wrote it into law. Okay, so they were classed as a person. I don't know if anyone else remembers that, but I'm old enough to remember that. And I remember when it happened, I remember going, what? No, that's not right, because corporations are not people. Okay, Real Roberts said President Trump has posted on Truth Social. Which one's this one? Stephen Miller drops another firebomb, metaphorically, of course, YouTube. The Democrat Party, via the Biden-Harris terrorist administration, bribed NGOs with billions of taxpayer dollars to coordinate with the State Department to deliberately import the poorest populations from the most dysfunctional regions of the world, resettle them in Republican areas across the country, like Minneapolis, Minnesota, hook them on welfare like Hunter Biden is hooked on crack, and finally grant them citizenship for the sole purpose of participating in the US elections and ultimately overthrowing the constitutional Republic of the United States, obviously with help from the UN as well. Wonder how much they paid them. Liz Churchill said President Trump on the WEF, they're prophets of doom and foolish fortune tellers who predict overpopulation crisis that always demand absolute power in order to control every aspect of our lives. He returns to Davos in 2 weeks. I don't need to watch Bill Gates and Fauci and idiots like that and, Klaus Schwab. Don't need it. No, don't want it either. Won't be listening, sorry. Digital Gal said new Secretary RFK Jr. and the Trump admin, Maha team, unveil new dietary guidelines for Americans. Maha confirms the war on added sugar is now underway while the focus on saturated fats has officially ended. The message is clear. Eat real food.
Unsaturated fats.
Hang on, where did
and fruit are unsaturated fats.
That was the beginning.
Diets rich in vegetables and fruits reduce disease risk more effectively than many drugs. Whole grains outperform refined carbohydrates. Added sugars, especially sugar-sweetened beverages, drive metabolic disease, and today our government declares war on added sugar. Highly processed foods loaded with additives, added sugar, and excess salt damage health and should be avoided. As Secretary of Health and Human Services, my message is clear: eat real food. Nothing matters more on saturated fats.
Okay, I've gone back to the beginning. How you going, Cassandra? Good to see you. Okay, now the next bit is take a screenshot, guys. If you see it, this is the new food pyramid, okay? So whole grains, not the processed shit we eat these days. You need protein, dairy and healthy fats, which is meat, and the fat. I've been trying to eat the fat on the meat lately, right? Same as the chicken, the fat on the skin and the chicken. It's not bad for you guys, all right? Cheese is not bad for you. Eggs are not bad for you. Milk's not bad for whole milk, right? All these things are good for you. I believe that's olive oil. It's either that or vinegar, I don't know. Avocados, prawns, or you call them shrimp. Butter. I don't know, it looks like maybe yogurt. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, with berries on top. You've got the nuts. Okay, you've got bananas, grapes. What's that? Looks like either a lemon or a mango. Oranges, strawberries, blueberries, lettuce, carrots, tomatoes, pears, broccoli, peas, beans. Okay, just eat good foods. More of them, less sugars. I know, I'm having trouble getting off it myself. I'm trying at the moment. I've been in discussion with Tim Eyre to go keto, and the sugars are hard. It's really hard to give it up. Jeez, didn't think it was that bad. And I don't have that much like I do when I eat extra chocolate and sweet stuff, right? But if I just have my cups of tea, it's not much sugar. But, it's hard. I'm just going to have to do it. Tony said Democrats just defended a narco-terrorist dictator and demanded his release. Maduro. Don't be surprised when they defend protesters who run over ICE agents with their vehicles. Hey, this was on January 8th. Oh, yeah, that was just yesterday, was it? Yep. They don't care about facts. I was going to say this person maybe called it if it was earlier than that. Kangman Lee said, kill someone else, kill someone else. This is what Liberals are chanting as they riot and attack ICE agents. The reality is they're actually happy that Renee Good was shot and killed by ICE because it gives them a reason to riot and commit more violence. And they want more deaths to satisfy their bloodthirst, to have more reasons to commit acts of terrorism as they feign outrage. The same people who celebrate the murder of Charlie Kirk are also happy that Renee Good is dead for the same reason, to advance their politics. That's the way they feel about America, right? And the stupidity of it all is that in the past, people of noble character would risk their lives to protect their country against foreign invaders, but these Liberals are risking their lives to defend foreign invaders from their own countrymen. It's a bit retarded, isn't it? Oh, this guy's got his own podcast. What's his name? Kangman Lee. This looks like a patriot to me. Cat A said tough times for Australia's E-Safety Commissioner, Julian Mangrant. This was quite a few days ago, a week ago. She's now accused of harassing US-based social media companies in connection with the enforcement of the under-16 social media ban. Jim Jordan claims her actions amount to attempts at global censorship and impact free speech. The latest summons threatens contempt proceedings if she refuses to testify. So far, she has not responded. Can you arrest her now? Okay, arrest her for contempt, sorry. Can you do that now? Take her back, please, someone. Anyone? Hello, anyone? Help. Okay, and everybody thinks that Albanese is going to do the Royal Commission on the Bondi terrorist attack and that he's going to come back with right-wing social media posts inflamed tensions and made that Bondi attack happen, okay? That's what so they're going to introduce digital ID. If that happens, you won't see me for a while. We'll see how we go. Hopefully it doesn't even happen because the rest of their shit doesn't go well for them. Drogo said there's a reason President Trump is flooding the internet with election theft videos now. Maduro's an informant against the CIA for laundering election theft technology like Smartmatic and Dominion through Venezuela. Trump has it all. Retribution is coming. Fletch17 said Maduro captured, Venezuela freed. Tim Walz quit. Captain Kelly demoted and docked retirement money. Tariffs exploding, Trump and Elon besties again. And it hasn't even been 1 week of 2026. Hang on, it's going to be a banger. And it will. Eric O'Donnell said Venezuelan schools, chronic absenteeism, empty schools, 65% of students behind in basic skills. Chicago schools, chronic absenteeism, empty schools and 65% of students reading below grade level. It's no wonder the Chicago Teachers Union is defending Maduro. Isn't that funny? And Pauline Hanson said the Prime Minister refuses to call a Royal Commission into the Bondi massacre because he knows it will uncover his own government's failures. Police have been underfunded. Counter-terrorism was told to focus on innocent Australians, labelled as right-wing, while Islamic radical terror is ignored. And federal police have been instructed to monitor SAS troops falsely accused of fictitious war crimes. Millions of new arrivals have been allowed into the country without checking whether they hold ideologies that are incompatible with the Australian way of life. Just like the Prime Minister trying to run from COVID Royal Commission, it's all about what he wants to hide. Get some guts and call out the real problem, radical Islamic terrorism. Okay, and this one, Elon Musk. Walter Kurtz said this is the listed location of the auditing firm that performed the audits for both the Minnesota and Ohio on the NGOs. We have linked to potential fraud. What? You cannot make this stuff up. Oh, dear. So this is the auditing firm who performed the audits on Minnesota and Ohio and the NGOs. Oh, dear God. Okay. We investigated ourselves and found there was no wrongdoing, apparently. Benny Johnson said here's the untold story about Venezuela that the media will never tell you. This man breaks down exactly why it was absolutely critical for dictator Nicolas Maduro to be taken down. Venezuela's been strangled by a narco dictatorship for over 25 years. The regime erased entire families' lives, jobs, savings, pensions and investments gone. Venezuela is now the second largest mass displacement on earth after Syria. The regime has imprisoned hundreds of political opponents. Thousands have been murdered for opposing the government or speaking the truth. 1/3 of the country has fled. Iranian militias, Chinese corporations and Russian intelligence operate freely inside the country. Foreign powers looting Venezuela's land, oil, gold and institutions. The country's become a forward operating base for authoritarian regimes. It's a direct threat to the Western Hemisphere, okay? Not only that, does anyone remember when that whistleblower came out and said 7 countries in 5 years that they were going to overthrow? Yeah, well, I think that's what's being stopped here. That's what's being turned around. Seriously. Betty Johnson said, Democrats, you can't just go illegally arrest a president. Also Democrats, yeah, they wanted to arrest him. They did. Try. DOQ said MAGA influencers are getting dumber and dumber, unfortunately. This wasn't a war. It was the 34-minute Special Forces operation. We were removing and arresting an unelected criminal. We were getting our stolen oil back. We were freeing the Venezuelan people. We're going after justice from a Rockefeller-controlled cartel. Hello? We are going after justice from a Rockefeller-controlled cartel. It's peace through strength. Most MAGA influencers are a joke. Yep. The ones that jump on straight away, we're going to war, oh my God. They've either got no discernment, they're not looking into things, or they're doing it on purpose, and that's even worse, okay? Okay, Laura Loomis said, that's cute. The Islamic communist thinks President Trump and Marco Rubio give a shit what he has to say. Now that Maduro's been captured, Hamas and Hezbollah won't be getting as much money from Iran, so Iran Mandami's having a rough day. His 12 buddies are sad. Oh, dear. I don't know what that was about, but hey, I could have listened to him, but no, I don't want to. Now we're getting way back. Yep, Right Angle News Network. Maduro's about to reveal how he helped steal our election, flood our country with people sent into blue states for census manipulation. They captured him alive for a reason. If you think Maduro being captured by the US is simply about oil, congratulations, you are yet again being manipulated by the mainstream media who've never told you the truth once in your life. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but people keep falling for it. Matt Van Swal said, I can't believe what I'm seeing. Every leftist on X is crying about Maduro being removed from power and every single Venezuelan celebrating it like there's no tomorrow. This has been one of the most eye-opening days. Oh, dear. Okay, I feel like I've got to just... That was Venezuela on the day it happened, okay? They're all celebrating, loving it. I mean, we would be if they just come and arrest Albo. Okay, a bolt action, a C3. This is the Bondi shooter, allegedly. Bolt action because there was never any chance for return fire, so he didn't need to worry about it. He didn't care. He had all the time in the world. Only the bad guys have guns in Australia. Another reason the Second Amendment is non-negotiable. Clandestine said public outrage is a necessary step. All of you should be angry. We've been betrayed, enslaved, poisoned, brainwashed, etc. But you need to direct your anger at those responsible, not those cleaning up the mess. Trump wants justice as badly as you do. He will deliver. Just hang in there. We're going to watch it, okay? We're going to see it. Libs of TikTok said Somalia's ambassador to the UN is a daycare administrator in Ohio. You cannot make this up. Oh, no. Yeah, he needs to arrest Starmer too. And Carney. I think one of the first countries that's going to go with America is Canada because they're so close. And that's why he also went after Venezuela. It's close. And where all the illegals, a lot of the illegals are coming in, or from. MAGA Voice said just in a reporter found a building in Minnesota that has 60 Somali businesses in one warehouse. Everything's getting exposed. Okay, this is what it's all about. Exposure. Sandy, how you going? Good to see ya. Yeah, everything's getting exposed. You can see it. Elon Musk said, and that's exactly what they've been doing. Western Lensman said, Chuck Schumer, our ultimate goal is to get a path to citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented there are here. And that's exactly what they've been doing. You traitor. You freaking traitor. If I could hit him, slap him with a little mouse thing here, I would. See? I'm trying. Okay. We got one in Australia as well. Cauldron Pool set Australians' Minnesota daycare scandal. In Lakemba, a Muslim-majority suburb of Western Sydney where most residents were born overseas, there are over 1,300 National Disability Insurance Scheme businesses within a 5-kilometre radius, or roughly one business for every 13 residents in the suburb, according to news.com.au. The National Disability Insurance Scheme, NDIS, is projected to cost Australia about $52.3 billion this year, rapidly becoming one of the largest federal expenses, comparable to Medicare and Defence, with projections to reach $100 billion annually within a decade. So we got our own version over here. Not Somali, but Muzzies. Muzzies? Muzzies. Okay, John Ruddock, MLC, Libertarian, said, I followed every Iranian uprising since 1979. This seems to be the most promising. But yes, it's weird how little interest corporate media is taking in this. Because Iran was burning, we are witnessing history akin to the fall of the Berlin Wall, and most media dare not say a word. Ask yourself why. Because the people of Iran want their Khomeini out. That's why. Yeah, Queen Natalie said New Year's resolution for everyone in the West, stop being so tolerant. If tolerance means the end of Western civilization, then we cannot be tolerant. Elon Musk responded, yes. Yep, America's toast. If the radical left wins, they'll open the floodgates to illegal immigration and fraud. Won't be America anymore. Go to some suburbs and realise that they're not even... Like we've got Australian suburbs that aren't Australian anymore. Oh, dear. It's coming. It's all right. It's coming. Kashi said, and our Albanese's actual experts turn out to be advisors within his own office and department heads of the security services. What a surprise. It's like getting the arsonists to investigate the fires they started. The greatest political cover-up is happening right before our eyes. Labor's $27 million grant after cleric urged Muslims to wage jihadi. Quietly approved security grant to an Islamic council coming only weeks after its top cleric was linked to global jihad ruling is raising serious questions. And this is why you don't rely on AI. Dr. Simon Godek said, hey, Grok, please remove the mass murderer from this picture. Ready? Wrong one, mate. Yep, what the Grok? Yeah. Don't trust him. Don't trust any AI. I don't trust any of them. I have a big trust issue right now. If I thought I had one before, it's even bigger now. Fletch17 said, did the White House just tell us to hold the line? The White House, and we're just getting started. Oh, can I play this? Let's have a look. I'm going to try. I may get censored.
Hold the line. Stay with me. Brothers.
That's all I needed to hear. Hold the line, stay with me, okay? I'll do the rest in silence because I don't want to get... I mean, even the picture can get, you know. Yeah, anyway. Okay, it's just from a movie, but this is what the White House posted, okay? The very first words were hold the line. So hold the line, guys. Hang in there. Like I said, just hang in there. DC Drano Homeland Security federal agents are now door-knocking Somali fraud shops, gathering evidence. That's what we wanted to see. See, this is... They're all getting exposed and they're trying to cover it all up with the... protests with ICE agents and all that shit. Peter Sweden said this should be pretty big news. Bill Gates and Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla has been ordered to appear in court in the Netherlands in a civil lawsuit over misleading statements on COVID vaccine safety. Mainstream media is silent. Meanwhile, compensation, YouTube. Hello? Oh, dear. Yeah, I got kicked off for going against the narrative. Elon Musk said, wow, Geiger Capital said it's not just daycares. Somalis in Minnesota have been setting up fake medical centres and fraudulently diagnosing their children with autism to systematically steal billions of taxpayer dollars through Medicaid. Sounds like what Australia's doing with the health system. Much like with the HHS program, autism claims to Medicaid in Minnesota have skyrocketed in recent years from $3 million in 2018 to $54 million in 2019, $77 million in 2020, $183 million in 2021, $279 million in 2022, and $399 million in 2023. Jeez. Meantime, the number of autism providers in the state spiked from 41 to 328 over the same period, with many of the Somali community establishing their own autism treatment centres, citing the need for culturally appropriate programming. By the time the fraud scheme was exposed, 1 in 16 Somali 4-year-olds in the state had reportedly been diagnosed with autism, a rate more than triple the state average. Crazy. Okay, Clandestine said, let's do a thought exercise. Let's say the first day after inauguration, the US military did no-knock raids and perp-walked Obama, Hillary, Brennan, Comey, etc. How do you think that would have gone? With the border still insecure, violent gang sleeper cells still embedded within our walls, and Antifa and radical Islamic terrorist groups still at large, without Trump's people in position, without the public being informed of the treasonous conspiracy, without the wars around the globe being settled, without rogue deep state elements like Iran's nuclear capabilities being shut down, all while the public are extremely emotionally charged after the election cycle, have been repeatedly brainwashed to believe that Trump is Hitler about to unleash a military dictatorship. There's levels to this shit. Many variables must be accounted for and many pieces must be in place before we can do something of this magnitude. And it's all being set up for that. You can see it. But if you've been paying attention, you'd see much of these things have already been taken care of over Trump's first year. I'm more optimistic than I've ever been, and frankly, I don't understand how people don't see what Trump is doing. The price to pay for striking early could result in mass civilian casualties, which is what they're trying to avoid. That's why they're doing it the way that they're doing it. Slow, steady, waking people up so that the least amount of people would be injured. The entire operation would be ruined if the Republic would fall to the deep state and all of us would be tax labour slaves forever. We can't afford to miss. Everything must be perfect, and Trump is putting the pieces into place to make that happen. Okay. Okay, Malcolm Roberts said the Labor... This is from... Okay, now I'm getting way back in... let's have a look here. What's going on? Like the most recent news. Watch, I'm shameless, I'll beg. Senator John Kennedy literally gets on his knees on the Senate floor, begs John Thune to stop the steal and pass second reconciliation bill. Oh, well done. Tom Herman shreds CBS narrative, silences Tony Tagupul with brutal "Where's the Heart" reality check. Oh, okay. Just in, Senate votes 52-47 to advance Venezuela war power resolution to limit President Trump's military actions. 5 Republicans join the Dems. Trump responds, what the hell? Okay, they're going to limit Trump's military actions in Venezuela because that's another one of their money laundering situations. President Trump will veto the measure. 5 Republicans and senators join the Democrats to advance the resolution. So it was Murkowski, Collins, Rand Paul, and Hawley. This is the 3rd time the Senate has voted to advance a war powers resolution. CBS reported after two previous unsuccessful attempts, the Senate moved Thursday towards limiting President Trump's ability to strike Venezuela as the US leader continues to take a unilateral action against a South American country. The Senate voted 52 to 47 to advance a war power resolution days after the US captured Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife in a nighttime raid that came not only as a surprise to the former president but also to Congress. Okay, let's see what he can do about that. Mr. Trump has long teased land strikes against Venezuela amid a months-long military campaign against alleged drug smuggling, boats at sea, that has killed more than 100 people. Mr. Trump has not ruled out additional military action. He said that the US will run the country for the time being and control its oil sales after Saturday's strikes, which were carried out as part of a daring operation to capture Maduro and bring him to the US to face charges. Thursday's vote comes after President Trump ordered military strikes on Venezuela and captured Maduro. Maduro was indicted on 4 counts by a federal grand jury in the Southern District of New York. You can read the indictment there. They indicted his wife, Celia Flores, and 4 others on 4 counts: narco-terrorism conspiracy, cocaine importation conspiracy, possession of machine guns and destructive devices, and conspiracy to possess machine guns and destructive devices. President Trump announced on Tuesday evening that Venezuela will give the United States between 30 and 50 million barrels of oil. Trump said the oil will be sold at market price. President Trump went off on the rhinos who joined the Democrats. Republicans should be ashamed of the senators that just voted with Democrats in attempting to take away our powers to fight and defend the United States. Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, Rand Paul, Josh Hawley and Todd Young should never be elected to office again. This vote greatly hampers American self-defense and national security, impeding the president's authority as commander-in-chief. In any event, despite their stupidity, the War Powers Act is unconstitutional, totally violating Article 2 of the Constitution, as all presidents and their departments of justice have determined before me. Nevertheless, a more important Senate vote will be taking place next week on this very subject. Let's see how that goes. Disgraced Hollywood mogul Harvey Weinstein negotiating plea deal to avoid third sex crimes trial. Hey, Candace Owens also interviewed that guy. If you love gardening, travel or just living an active life and you've been feeling fatigue, bloating, it must be a hidden cause. Yeah, I'm feeling that. It's just life at the moment. The Trump admin is considering paying thousands to Greenlanders to get them to support joining the United States. Just have your son marry the princess or whatever she is. Yeah, VP Vance publicly shames reporters for pushing radical propaganda on ICE violence. Okay, so I'm pretty much caught up, really. Georgia RICO case fallout. Trump seeks $6.2 million. Co-defendants also pursue legal fee reimbursement under Georgia law. Tim Walz and Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison have been criminally referred to the DOJ for investigation and prosecution over the Somali fraud. Okay, I think that's just about. Obama judge disqualifies Trump-appointed US attorney overseeing Letitia James investigations, tosses subpoena issued to James. Caught on camera, radical Nebraska state senator Michaela Kavanagh tears down display celebrating America's 250th birthday. This is the woman who was fatally shot by ICE. A GoFundMe for the wife and son of a woman. Hang on, is she gay? Did she have a wife? Okay. I'm not going to ask anything, okay. Raises nearly $600,000 in one day. Yeah, anyway, let's go to your comments because I've got to wrap it up short. It's going to get very hot here very soon. I'll go back as far as I can and I'll start reading your comments. Oh, happy birthday to you, Shannon, tomorrow. Alex said we have a massive storm here in the UK already, 99 miles per hour wind in some parts, praying everyone stays safe. Yes, stay safe, everyone. Happy birthday, Shannon, and Happy New Year to everyone. Okay, Rails, how you going? Yeah, this is the year we've been waiting for. I think this year we're going to see something, to be honest. George said, good to see you back, Hev. Yes, I'll pop back when I can just for the next few weeks. I'll still be off, but I'll pop back when I can. I might even stream on the weekend, this weekend. Yeah, I'll see how I go. The whole gang back together again. Sherry's here too, and Tasman. Everyone from the UK. Rolf's here. Michelle said as profitable as Somali childcare centre. What a hoot. Yes, I hope this year is as profitable for every one of you as the Somali daycare centre has been for them. Alex said, sending love and prayers to your mum and whole family. Have love you too, guys. Yeah, thank you very much. Just prayers, because we know she's not going to get better, but yeah, I don't know. It's really weird. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to embarrass my mum, and there's a lot of weird shit going on though, including a bit of paranoia and did I dream this or did it really happen? Yeah. And getting a bit snippy and that at people, but we've got our patience. We're very patient with her, and yeah, God help us is all I can say. Shannon said she'd been harassing them all day. Yes, she had been. Yes, that woman had been harassing the ICE agents all day. Rolf said she was an activist. She intentionally blocked ICE vehicles, so ICE eventually confronted her. Yes, they told her to get out of the car 2 times. Yes, Shannon, QAnon Shaman was a paid actor. I believe that. I am Kai said the tyres spun while pointed at him. If not for slip from ice, she would have hit him. It's a misfire of her weapon as at least. No great loss, yep. Oh, your birthday's on the 10th. Happy birthday, Shannon, for tomorrow. George said, okay, happy birthday for the 10th. Rolf said she was also from Colorado Springs. Yes, she was in a different state, protesting. Paid provocateur. Paid. That's her job. Michelle said, remember the BBC doctored the speech Yes, I do. Alex said, I can't believe that was 5 years ago. Time is flying. I know. Shannon said, that guy has a daycare as well. Yes. Michelle said, they're all swimming in fraud. They are. The whole world is that's how they're getting rich, I think. Hey, Humpty. Hey, sister, everyone. Hello, respect and blessings to all. Hope your reservation. God love you. Definitely. Rolf said Wallace is not going to survive this mess. No. Eric said, not me. Alex said, I saw it live, Michelle. The BBC are masters of misinformation. Yeah, Michelle did too, yep. And hello, Menacing Muskrat. Yes, all the best in 2026. Eric said it was nice of Wallace and Fry to give us reason for Insurrection Act. Yes, it was nice, wasn't it? Good on them. Alex said they're all propagandists trying so desperately to get us all to turn against each other and fight each other when it's them that needs a close eye kept on them. They're all corrupted, yep. Oh, I didn't show you the... I probably won't be able to find it now. But, yeah, Candace Owens' actual post on X. I think if people follow her on YouTube, they should also follow her on X and watch what she says. Here it is. Candace Owens said this, no matter how hard the GOP tries to make radical Islam happen, the base doesn't care about it. Really? I do. I support Trump. I care. I'm sure a lot of people care. We're way more concerned about Israel. Really? You can deny reality and scream about Tucker, but the party can no longer be governed by those who refuse to acknowledge the Zionist elephant in the room. Oh, she's got this bee in her bonnet over Israel. Seriously? They are not the be-all, end-all. Okay? It's every country. Every country has part of the deep state. They're not all Israelis. And in fact, Israel is important to America because it is the only Western nation in the Middle East. So it is very advantageous to keep Israel close. Also, Israel last, okay? They're going to be sorted out last. So just hang in there. But yeah, we all knew it was coming. I called it out last time, right before I stopped streaming. I think it was my last stream or the one before. But anyway, there you go. Sorry, it is a thing, Candace. Okay. Alex said, Menacing Muskrat, did you get my message? Sorry I missed your calls. I was in bed. Yep, Menacing Muskrat said, thumbs it up, folks. Thank you. Yeah, I'm missing a lot on the phone because I'm not near my phone a lot now at the moment. So I'm like not getting messages till hours later. Sometimes I'm not getting them at all. And phone calls I see hours later as well. So, yeah. I'm just really busy with like my mum, and then I've got my own health issues as well to deal with. So there's just a lot going on. So I'll just need a few more weeks, see how we go. I don't know how long this is going to go for. George said 2026 is a new beginning for me. Let my mental health rule me for fart. Yeah, don't let it rule you. You get a hold of it, George. That's it. And you hang in here with us. Don't. Yeah, just hang in there. Hold the line. Alex said, same here, George. I've decided the same. Finally sort stuff out and get moving with stuff I've been saying for ages. Menacing Muskrat said it's exactly 2017 if you follow the real calendar. Oh, interesting. Menacing Muskrat said, hey, my Canadian brother. Yeah. Shannon said, hey, it must be so hot here. Even socks came in, though she dislikes the kitten. Yeah. Yesterday we had 42 degrees here. I don't know what it was like where you were, Shannon, where you are. Yesterday was 42. We're expecting the same now. It's already 33.5 degrees at 10 a.m. It's going to be hotter than yesterday, and then tomorrow again. And, yeah, I have just had to order a portable air conditioner because my cooler is not working at all. Okay. Well, it's working, but it's too much moisture in the house. Because it's an air cooler, it uses water in the back of it, and that puts more moisture into the air, and there's already a problem with this house, and moisture. So we need to dry it out, not make it moist. Oh, whoops. Clicked accidentally. George said, Alex, I went to see the crisis team today because I'm like, oh, George, God love you. Alex said, no worries, Hev. I know you've had a lot on your mind and plate. Hope things are a bit better for you this year. I hope so. I am Kai said, thing is when exposure is complete and the supply lines temporarily stop, another famine comes, like the last time the K wave crashed. I don't think we're going to have too much to worry about. I just don't think we will. Janelle, how you going? Remember, we're watching a movie. Yes, Menacing Muskrat, yes. Very interactive movie, yep. But yes, definitely. It's playing out for everyone who doesn't know to see it. And even those of us who do know to still see it, to notice what's going on at what time. Alex said, I know, George, I'm really sorry to hear that's gotten to the point where people are at the end of their tether and had enough, but also think it's been planned that way. Stay strong, definitely. Pinkster said, this is all well and good as the Netanyahu friendship that worries me. Just hang in there. Israel last. How you going, Robin? Alex said, we're here to hold each other up. Yes. Menacing Muskrat, love you too. Shannon said, Pinks, to keep your friends close, your enemies even closer. Yes, exactly. They need, I believe the US need Israel as the only link to Western nation in Middle East, but Israel will be sorted out last, so just hang in there. But they are not the be-all and end-all of corruption. There is more than them. Alex said, I know how you feel, George, and I've felt like that myself in the past. Things will get better and nothing's worth doing that. Never give up. Never, ever, ever, never, Never. Just refuse. Be stubborn. No, I'm not giving up. Stuff you. You know? Not giving up. Alex said, lucky needs you here too, George. Hope you're feeling better after speaking to someone. Glad you're here. Yeah, definitely. Oh, you've missed us all. Yeah, I'll try and get back this weekend. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or my Sunday, your Saturday. I don't know. I'll try because I want to get Timmy on. I also want to go to Rumble to watch with me. Watch something, anything. Uncle Buck, I don't care. National Lampoon's Vacation, any of them. I don't know, something funny. I want to watch something funny. So hopefully we can all have a good laugh. Menacing Muskrat said, POTUS is Raisin Cane, lol. Yep. Yeah, Pinkster said, sending a big hug to George, yep. Kai said, I missed the group too, George, like family, definitely. Shannon said, work on your aim, George. What? Shannon, I think that went over my head. Alex said, George, me too. I didn't know what I would have done without our have family. God love you. Menacing said, Shannon, all the best in 2026. How's socks? Alex said, love you all. Kai said, I already had the talk with Tony. When I get too far gone, catch me aware. Explain, take me to the home while I'm aware. Eric said, every week a new stunner in 2026. I believe that's true. Alex said, I hope it doesn't come to that, Kai. Well, we're thinking, like, I swore to God I would never put my parents in a home. But, oh no. If you see what happens to someone when they get Alzheimer's, dementia, whatever it is, it's pretty late stage. When you see what happens, there are things you cannot stop. There are things that go on that are a danger to themselves and other people that you cannot, I don't know how to deal with these. It's hard. I hate the disease. But we'll see what happens. We're going to try respite care for a few days and see how that goes. And she's been asking to go. She wants to go to a home. She keeps saying, you're going to have to put me in a home. You're going to have to put me somewhere. You're going to have to put me somewhere. You're going to have to put me somewhere. I don't know. We're thinking about it. I don't want to do it. Kai said, discussed it just this weekend, in fact. Cassandra said, Happy New Year, everyone. Prayed for Hev and her mum, figuring that was pulling Hev's focus. Need Chipmunk Hev to catch up. I'm at 24 minutes behind. God love you, Cassandra. Yeah, thumbs it up if you can, folks. That'd be much appreciated. Yeah, Alex, there's a moose loose in the hoose. There's a mouse. They brought it in with them, so there you go. Shannon said a chocolate mousse. George said I need to sort my life out, lol. Oh, God love you. I think we all do, George. Just hang in there. Yeah, Shannon, RFK's voice. Alex said, yeah, we don't want any of that 3D printed shite either. Billy Goat can keep that for himself and his evil crew. I reckon we force feed them that stuff. Like Bill Gates and Fauci and all them. I reckon we should. Pinkster said living in a town has advantages. Shannon said I called them delicious. Alex said I've eaten whole grains for years. I get everything brown, pasta, rice, bread, rolls, flour, etc. Yep, menacing, cook your own food. Pinkster said I did a parasite cleanse and don't crave sugar anymore. Oh, really? Alex said this year I'm going to eat clean and try and fast every few months too. Yeah, I've just got to dump the sugar out of my tea. That's the hardest bit. My cups of tea with sugar. Okay? I just have a problem giving the sugar up. I'm trying to cut it down, but oh dear, it's hard. Okay, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to say it's too hard. I'm going to do it. Okay, I've got this. I've got this. I am Kai said I'm back and forth between try harder and what's the actual point? No, I know what you mean. No, we need to. We all need to. Oh, I don't. I'm so tired. Anyway, we'll get there, guys. Together we'll get through this. Even the other shit that's going on in our lives, we'll get through it all together, okay? I'm going to try and come on more than I have been the last few weeks. Alex said, that's brilliant. Sounds like it went well. I think once you're used to it, hopefully it gets better, gets easier too. Yeah, I think once you do give up sugar, it's apparently easy. It's like smoking. Once you give up, it's easier to stay off. So I've heard from some people. Menacing Muskrat said, Jesus fasted. Cassandra said, I suck at fasting, but try to eat right for my blood type better. Yes. I like the idea of eating for your blood type. Pinkster said, did it for 21 days twice. It was disgusting. Laughed my ass off. George said, I need fasting from all the bullshit in the world. Lol, I know what you mean, George. Shannon said, that's what you tell the police when you get pulled over. But officer, my doctor told me to try fasting. Yeah, I thought they meant go faster. I'll take your licence off you for having a mental condition that can't tell the difference. Cassandra said, lol, Pinkster. Alex said, yes, I fell asleep to the Bible again last night and said about fasting, menacing. Yeah, well, the Bible has something interesting to say about Israel. Menacing Muskrat was telling me yesterday. Menacing, can you just put the, like the name of the book and the numbers of what you were reading yesterday? Alex said, I don't know my blood type. I'm going to try and find out, though, as I know that can make a difference. Cassandra, yep. Alex said, at least you got all the nasties out of your system, even though it was horrid, Pinkster, yep. Kai said, O negative here. I know I'm O, and I have a feeling it might be positive. Menacing said, Alex, Tux, my little tuxedo man is sure grown. He's a big cat. Oh, wow. Michelle said, apparently sugar is harder to give up than cocaine. Oh, wow. That makes sense. Especially in tea. For some reason, it's just the sweet tea. And then chocolate. And then cakes and biscuits. And oh, my God. But cakes and biscuits are actually easier to deal with than teas. Shannon said, my blood type is unvaccinated, red. Cassandra said, I feel better, but I have a lot of prepper food to get through next few months, so trying to up my type of ratio on foods. Learning my type from donating at work way back, yep. Yeah, if you donate blood, you'll find out your blood type. Alex said, yeah, that type of fasting would be good, a complete deep cleanse from it all. Yeah, no jabs here either. Kai, Shannon. Oh, no, I'm going to get a tickle in my throat. Okay. That's one hot cup of tea. Cassandra said, I'm no neg too. Menacing Muskrat said, even my Rottweilers listen to him. There you go. Pure blood as well, George, yep. No jabs, Michelle, yep, good. No clots for Pinkster or Alex. Michelle said 90% jab my ass. Give me a sec. Okay, I had to have a big drink of water. Okay, Kai said of course all this, that was my water bottle in case you're wondering. Okay. Kai said, of course all this, the movie, it's just focused for the egregor, but directed this time by the Trump clan. Oh my goodness. My eyes are watering. From the tickle in my throat. Yeah, plenty of twists and turns in this movie, that's for sure, Alex, yep. Kai said, people fall for fantasy because they're bored breathing their own air. Yeah, George said, Trump needs a special mission to arrest Starmer. Sandy said, hey there, everyone, just joined in. Here you going, Sandy. Alex said, if only George, I would dread to think who would take over after him, though. They're all terrible. Well, if they arrested the leaders and then they called the rest of it illegitimate because of cheating and stuff like that, then we could go that way. That's what I'm thinking. Because once they go into those Smartmatic machines, you watch the whole world start getting dragged into that. And then our countries are going to be looked at as well. Yeah, Shannon, grab elbow and Dictator Dan while they're at it. Did you see the Bike Boy scandal? Apparently it's come out, so I've got to look into that as well. One of our premiers run over a young man and got away with it, or so far. Sandy said, came in on the daycare thing. It seems that daycare's newest fad beats Bitcoin, apparently. Kai said there was an experiment in the 50s to summon completely made-up ghosts. It succeeded because they focused their inherent abilities to create into a group effort. Menacing said the other day, Carney went dark. He turned off all his electronics. Now he's in France, allegedly. Oh, wow. Sandy said, hey, everyone in the chat, Happy New Year. Kai said, millions and millions are feeding this beast we're caught under. Yep. Cassandra said, smart of Bobby Jr. to mention how bad sugar is for us after Christmas. Yes, of course. Wait till after Christmas to tell them not to eat sugar. Just wiping the tears from my eyes now. Shannon said, daycares are for money laundering, corrupt payments, etc. Sandy said, I'm going to be an old age pensioner in a few weeks. I wonder if my life will change. Oh, no. Alex said they have had scams like these for years, yet they've gone after the hardest working folks for years too. It's all backwards, yep. Sandy said, meaning, will they have any money left to give me my pension, lols? Oh, it's coming, Sandy. Menacing said it's going to be a ball-busting year, 2026, yes. Alex said, it used to be that you could get a bus pass, but not sure you would want to do that these days with the crazy stuff on public transport. Yeah, exactly. Kai said, Sandy, it's boring as you know what. Sandy said, I lived in Lakemba 40 years ago. It was already Little Lebanon back then, yep. Alex said, pension age seems to be getting higher and higher by the year too. They don't want people enjoying anything, especially retirement. Lucky if you can afford food or head these days, yep. Alex said, sounds like a right doomer. Sorry, guys. Oh, I sound like a right doomer. Sorry, guys. Alex said, it'll get better. Shannon said, I listened to a podcast called Hold the Line. Nice shout out, lol. Menacing Muskrat said, hey, Alex, I watched all of Pluribus waiting for season 2. Never heard of it. Eric said, Trump and 18 co-defendants cases dismissed as judge reveals case was run by Washington, D.C. There you go. George said, it'll only get worse under Starmer and Labor, Alex. Sandy said they changed it from 62 to 67 just before I turned 62. I was so pissed at the time. I don't blame you. Cassandra said, lol, I hate Chunky Schumer. Yeah, I just wanted to, use my mouse to slap his, the little hand on the mouse to slap him in the face. Not physically, not personally, I wouldn't slap anyone. But, yeah, just using my mouse like a pretend hand. Yeah, Alex said, as long as we keep a safe distance from what they're trying to do and stay as objective as possible and not get sucked into it at all. Eric said, all right, folks, off the dinner, stay safe. You too, Eric, have a good one. Sandy said, that's true, Alex. Non-participation as much as possible the way to go these days. I'm happier actually going without. That is, it's better. Yeah, George Starmer hates us, Brits. Yeah, I know. Ours do too. Our Albo hates us. Menacing Muskrat said, my goodness, US government is being house cleaned, judges and everyone else. Holy smokes, yep. It's happening. It's all happening. And we're seeing some dark to light. We are seeing it. Alex said, I know what you mean, but they can only push people so far in that polite patience will wear thin and people will end up exploding. Yep. Cassandra said, Doc, Forchi, I call. Oh, yep, Forchi. Alex said, take care. God bless. See you soon, Eric. Enjoy your dinner. Michelle said, watched 2 movies yesterday. Alex said, yes, same here. The less I have, the better. I feel in a weird way I've always tried to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. George said, take care, Eric. Alan Kai said, exploding is exactly what both sides are pushing for an excuse to escalate to the next level and stay there. Michelle Gunn said, lol, Greenland and Geostorm. Alex said, where have you been watching that? You'll have to send me a link, Menacing Muskrat. Yeah, Rand Paul's a dirty bird. He is, Menacing Muskrat. Why does that remind me of Misery? Isn't that what she called the writer? Sandy said, I can't believe how unlearned and lack of basic current events these dumb politicians pretend to have. I'm Kai said, I'm learning to use a slow cooker. Oh, cool. George said Maduro had better rating than Starmer. Lol, there you go. Cassandra said, hey, I'm caught up to Live Now versus Chipmunk Hev. Good one. Sandy said, in learning to read Somali English. Menacing Muskrat said, it was on my TV channel. I'll find where exactly. Sandy said, leering, keep making spelling mistakes. Oh, okay. Shannon said, just text Deb, she's missing. Oh, Deb's not here, yeah. Also, Timmy's not here. That's because I'll just be popping up when I can. That's how I'm going to have to do it for a little bit. I'm Kai said, mistakes are how we learn. That's exactly right. Shannon said, Democrats already cooked Kai. Slow cooker. Alex said, yes, I know. They've also let that power go to their heads and have taken more and more liberties. They've forgotten that they're supposed to work for the people in our best interest, yeah. Sandy said, lols, Kai, I'm a slow learner. Rolf said, Iran is heating up. Regime change possible soon. Yes, Rolf. Yep, how you going, Rolf? J1, how you going? Alex said that it's only gotten worse and worse over the decades because they've gotten... Where'd it go? Okay. Here somewhere. They've gotten better at keeping people distracted from what's really going on, yeah. They do. That's what they're major, dealers in distraction. Menacing Muskrat says so much is happening and it's only January the 8th. Yeah, exactly. Michelle said, I think Trump will have an Iran, Cuba and Colombo move. Yep. George says, Starmer has no interest in the British people. He's a WF puppet, a traitor to the British people. Rolf said, it's the people of Iran uprising. Crown Prince is talking to the citizens and military. Yeah. Sandy said, Hev, we'll do an Australia Day stream. I'll try. Yep. Pinkster said, so is Carney, George. Alex said, hopefully you can stream for Shannon's birthday tomorrow. Oh, shit, yeah, I'll try. If I can, I will. Sandy said, how many non-Somalis, white or black kids in Minnesota go to school hungry? Yeah. Alex said, prayers for anyone who needs it right now, definitely. Always. Sandy said, anyone in front of the camera is a paid actor, in my opinion. Yep. Kai said, I had to tell Tony to get another bottle of Pisgetti sauce. I am Kai said, Sandy, I tend to agree. Sandy said, I am Kai, it's the clips they choose. There are thousands of other stories to choose, but they all choose the same corrupt narrative they do. Shannon said, Minnesota Somalis could be called ice pirates. J1 said, Islami bacon salami. Sandy said, what if the Zionists are just the Jesuits? Pinkster said, pass. Shannon said, I'm the icicle now. Sandy said, they like to mask themselves and create scapegoats. They do. Pinkster said, genocide. Yeah, no. Shannon said, black ice. Kai said, Sandy, remember the withdrawal from, I forgot, all the people crowded the plane in Afghanistan? Kai said that plane was an inflatable decoy. Kai said the people were carrying it. Sandy said, yes, Kai, I think it was a fake plane. There's no way it was real. Sandy said, apparently it's an old war trip they use in previous wars, rubber planes, tanks, etc. Kai said, look at the engines, no turbines that would vacuum up those folks right under it. Yep. Sandy said they'd take us For fools, yep. Rolf said nationwide internet outage in Iran being reported. Good on you, Rolf. You're keeping us updated there. I have to look into that one next. Sandy said, sorry, my Somali coming out again. Sandy said, fools. Shannon said, moist. Shannon said, currently 39 degrees and windy. Oh, Sandy said, turns out we don't need a war with Iran after all. All my like Iran. Shannon said 45 degrees yesterday. Holy shoot, it was 42 here. That was bad enough. Sandy said, I think Somali program spell check. All my life. Sandy said, Shannon, that's too much. George said 6 degrees Celsius in London. Oh. Shannon said, try to make ice freezer. Couldn't do it. Sandy said, we're heading to the furthermost edges of the range of temperatures humans can cope with. Sandy said, freezing to melting all at the same time. Yep. George said, I'm not giving up. That's good. Good to hear. Always. Sandy said, me either, George. As long as I take my next breath, I'm still in the game. Yep. Cassandra said, I love Euro Vacation movie. Yeah. Could do that one. Could start at the beginning. Just do the National Lampoon's Vacation. And then hopefully the next week or the week after we can do the European Vacation and go in a row, you know. And the Christmas Vacation and the Vegas Vacation. Kai said, I thought of cataloguing all the current end-of-world series currently running around the globe. Shannon said, ice cubes with moist liquid centres. Shannon said, who can afford a home? Pinkster said, this girl is good. Kai said, I'm just too big and too dangerous to be mindless and angry around Tony. Yeah. Cassandra said, got to find a good one, Have. Heard lots of elderly homes abuse the elderly. Yeah, I know. There is a good one up here. We're up in the mountains. But we don't know if we can get her in, so we'll see. Well, I don't know. We'll see how we'll put her in for a couple of days, see how she goes, like a respite care thing, just so we can get a rest because it's very intense. I never realised how bad it could be, but every day I'm surprised. Stunned, in fact, some days. Yeah. J1 said once Jolly Swagman had to pay a camping fee. Oh, no. Do you have to pay a camping fee now, J1, or are you right? Alex said that would be awesome. Do a funny watch with Hev. We all need a good laugh now and then. Love Uncle Buck, the mole scene. Yeah, I've got that too. Cassandra said defo Hev and more prayers for you. Thank you, guys. Kai said Tony said she'd have to find a very good home. I told her it's not like I know most of the time. Well, that's the thing. They're forgetting every 5 seconds, like... Some things and other things they're hanging on to for dear life. I don't know. Kai said, it's terrifying to be honest, but it is what it is. Yep. Shannon said, sweet tea. Exactly. Sandy said, sugar ages you and feeds cancer. That's what I've heard. Might not be true, but what if it is? I believe it does, Sandy. If you find out you've got the big C, stop eating sugar immediately. Go keto. Oh, seriously, yeah. Alex said, there's never any shame in asking for help. I wish I asked for help years ago. I suffered in silence for years after speaking to Tim and changing a few things. Taking supplements has changed everything. Yeah. You'd be surprised. Sometimes it's vitamins, but then sometimes it's just the world and how it is. But we've got to have some hope. Otherwise, there's no point, you know. George said, the lefties don't like the truth. Yeah, I know. Kai said, more Hev would be good. We need you. At least I need you guys lately. Yeah, I'm going to try my hardest. Shannon said, fees for everything in Australia. Yeah, exactly. Everything. Cassandra said, wow, that's awesome, Alex. Sandy said, when I read the blood type diet, I realised it was doing it anyway, and the foods I shouldn't eat were foods I didn't care for anyway. There you go. Hey, D. Decker, how you going? There's a cookbook, Cleansing Sugar Plus, called 21 Days Without Sugar. It's amazing for your body and metabolism. Rebuilds your autoimmune system. Fantastic. Thank you, D. Decker. I appreciate that. Good on you, mate. Alex said, I'm sure there is a possible reverse for dementia, Alzheimer's, and possibly called type 3 diabetes, something to do with parasites. I'm not sure how to reverse. Maybe Tim knows something. Yeah, maybe. I thought that. I thought of I wonder if hydroxychloroquine would work on her. I don't know. Shannon said, I don't know my blood type, but the Aussies have been holding interventions, lol. Kai said, I've started having constant micro seizures and my taste changes on top of seizures meds that both trigger anorexia and subdue appetite. Oh, no. George said, I've suffered for many years in silence as well, Alex, but no more. Yeah, definitely talk to someone. If you have to, talk to someone. Kai said, hard to stay stoned enough to eat sometimes. Pinkster said, gotta run, much love. You too, Pinkster. Kai said, I think I made it today, though. Sandy said, I barely buy food when I'm out now. Yeah, I don't. I try not to. I don't get takeaway. I try and cook my own. Alex said, it's amazing how changing a few things can make all the difference, Cassandra. Yeah, Cassandra agrees. Sandy said, after taking a spoon of apple cider vinegar and a glass of water every day, instant effect. I do that a lot too, yep. Alex said, Mozzies hate me, which is a great thing. I don't think I've ever been bitten by one, Shannon. Kai said, the egregor is an actual thing. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Alex said, I have to check that book out. D. Decker? Yeah, definitely. Sandy said, oh, Kai, you're the first person I've heard talking about F. It's the key. Is it F? I can't see it properly. But D. Decker said, check out Barnes & Noble. Well done. Good on you. Kai said, indeed, they've only just heard the name this morning. It was like an avalanche. Kai said, amazing what a label can accomplish. Alex said, I've just looked it up and saved to check out later. Thank you, D. Decker. Yeah, definitely. Alex said, that was meant to say food or heating, lol, Hev. Kai said, we're in the belly of the beast right now. Chaotic co-creation's being harnessed for. Shannon said, Kai must be sick, didn't get a smile from my rude joke. R.I.P. Kai's sense of humour. Oh. D. Decker said, there's lots to be rectified about molasses, i.e. seizures get ahead of the pharmaceutical world. Oh, wow. Kai said, missed it and damn. Sandy said, Kai, the chicken is the egg. George said, most of these politicians in Europe have sold their souls to the devil. I agree with that one. Shannon said, I liked Albo when he was falling off the stage. That's the only time I have liked him. D. Decker said, here is to getting a grip on our blessed health. Yes, definitely. Kai said, more than that, we are the source. People were burnt alive for what I've realised today, now to harness it. Sandy said, I agree, George. What was that Goddard Tunnel performance of depravity? Yeah. Where am I up to now? Here, around here. Sounds insane, says George. Kai, sorry. I was reading the above comment at the same time. The Sandy's one to George. Alex said, I second that, D. Decker. Shannon said, which came first, the chicken or the egg? No, that was ping pong ball in Thailand. What? Alex said, Deb texted me earlier. I did say there was a live, but she may be driving to hubby to daycare or something. We love our Deb. Yes, definitely. George said, don't you need a chicken to lay an egg? I am Kai said, fake egg like everything else. Sandy said, don't you need an egg to get a chicken? Kai said, exactly, Sandy, you need a chicken to get an egg. Shannon said, correction, January 9th. What is January 9th? Alex said, Timo will be at work. We love our... yeah, yeah. He said he mainly catches right at the end or afterwards because, yeah, he's working. Sandy said, don't you love it, Kai? Shannon said, but you need an egg to get a chicken. Kai is laughing. It's different. Sandy said, you need a chicken to get an egg. The chicken grows from the egg and the egg grows from the chicken. We made the beast. You realise that? George said, so who produced the first egg if it was not a chicken? Sandy said, well, that's the mystery of the ages. Sandy said, whoever works it out gets the prize. God created the chicken, and from the chicken came the egg and more chickens. There you go. Shannon said, Deb's sister's birthday today and her mum's birthday on the 10th as well. Ah, there you go. She's busy. God love her. Kai said, that's the real question the egregor made the chicken to feed them from. D. Decker said, you all hold each other in loving prayer. We have an X-flare headed straight at the Earth now. Lots of solar storms heading in these next 24 hours, so get your ginger tea and be still in prayer, definitely. Kai said, all the things that after source are victim to that idea that actually lives. D. Decker said, love to all in Christ Jesus' name. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you, Alex. God love you, D. Decker. Kai said, Jesus is in there. He figured it out. Alex said, we have a massive Arctic storm here too. Prayers to all. Stay safe, everyone. Sandy said, Hev, I was just about to go to the laundromat when I saw you live. I'm still here, but thank you for doing a stream. Got to go. Bye-bye, loves. You too, Sandy. Have a good one. Kai said, we know how that went. People fear actual truth. Yeah. Kai said, people want comfort, not truth. Well, look, if the truth ends up not being a conspiracy theory, I'm fine with that. I just want proof, okay, of the truth. And I want the truth and the proof of the truth. But if it turns out it's not what I was thinking, that's fine. I don't mind. I don't want to be comforted by lies. I want the truth no matter how hard, no matter how bad. I want it, okay? That's what I came on here for in the beginning. I want the truth. D. Decker said, Alex, family and friends, stay warm, dance with laughter, lots of love and laughter. Praying you'll keep warm always. God love you. Shannon said, that's why Dinosaurus tarpits. Dinosaur shad tarpits. Oh, I got no idea. Kai said, it doesn't hit the same today with movies and film to distract, but back then when belief was all. Kai said, to say you stem from the source of life itself with his death sentence. Oh. Right, where am I? Okay, here somewhere. Shannon said, right to try. Alex said, give advice. Always good to dance with laughter and keep complete faith in God. Shannon said, lucky Alex did have to deal with all those small little pricks. What? Kai said, sorry, George, the truth often hurts or is unbelievable. Alex said, I tried to start on a clearing out spree before this live. I'm going to continue after and put on some loud music through headphones and enjoy the process of getting rid of stuff. I've been doing that for ages. I'm still not getting anywhere, it feels like. Kai said, what happens when you trap a few million gods in a jar? No idea. Alex said, take care, God bless, see you soon, Pink Star. George said, the truth does hurt, Kai. Kai said, what happens when they remember? We created God. Alex said, here's to no longer suffering in silence. We're all here for each other. And message if you need to, George. Shannon said, lizard made the mutant lizard, which is a chicken. Okay. Kai said, the love me or burn forever guy. Yeah, we made that one up for control of the stupid. Shannon said, chickens are dinosaurs. Oh, yeah. Kai said, to be honest. Cassandra said, truth is medicinal in my honest opinion. I believe it is too. Alex said, the truth is always the best, no matter how hard it might be. It's always better than a lie. Look, I'm sick of lies. I don't like lies. I don't like people lying to me. I don't like lying to people. So give me the truth, seriously. Johnny Kelly, I love your news, opinion and accent from the US. Oh, God love you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Kai said, really, I love you so much that if you don't be perfect and love me back, I'll burn you forever. Oh, God love yous. And Shannon said, heavenly jam. And with that, guys, I'm going to wrap it up for today. I will try and come back tomorrow or the next day. Cassandra said, FYI, I think YouTube hid D. Deckard book idea from me. Can't find it. Oh, it was, oh, shoot. Where is it? Unless D. Decker can rewrite what that book is, I'll try and find it. I've probably gone straight past it. Hang on. There is a book, Cleansing Sugar Plus, called 21 Days Without Sugar. 21 Days Without Sugar, okay? 21 Days Without Sugar. Cleansing Sugar Plus. Okay? It's a cookbook, 21 Days Without Sugar. There you go. Yep, 21 days without sugar. Definitely. Okay, guys, much love, and I'll be back in a day or two, I'm hoping. Maybe even tomorrow. Keep an eye out for me. You never know where I'm going to end up. And hopefully we can come on and say happy birthday to Shannon. Okay, guys, much love. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.